I mean, let's be honest, sports are frickin' boring, right? That's where video games come in. Woo! Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 craziest sports games.
Now Kovalev, Blake catches it with his head down.
Before we begin, we publish new videos every day, so be sure to subscribe for more great content. For this list, it's not whether these sports are real or fake, as long as the gameplay is creative, extreme, or completely insane. Number 10, Mutant League Football. It takes a certain type of individual to step into the gridiron and make some gnarly hits. Mutant League takes that abuse to 11 and then tries to push past it. Set in a post-apocalyptic future where the world's population has been transformed into mutants, football has become a death sport. Or more of a death sport, like you die on the field instead of like 5 years later. Instead of grass turf, teams like the Monsters and the Slashers must contend with harsher fields of play made of ice, rubber, or toxic waste. Each field also contains several death traps, and even the refs can be bought off to gain an advantage of a bogus play. The game proved so successful, it spawned an equally gruesome hockey spin-off, but it's more fitting for football. Number 9, NHL Hitz 2002. Speaking of spin-offs, NHL Hitz 2002 took the stripped-down, aggressive gameplay of NFL Blitz and applied it to professional hockey. Playing 4-on-4 matchups, goalies included, players can fight their opponents and cause them to permanently be ejected from the game.
Bertuzzi absolutely crushed them!
Should players score 3 goals in a row, they become on fire, where they become even more formidable. Should this little hat trick of scores be done by 3 one-timers, the whole team gets lit up. Without injuries and fewer penalties and players to manage, the hits kept coming with 2 sequels as well.
They score! The Avalanche get another!
Number 8, NBA Street Series. Putting more emphasis on an urban flavor, the stars of the National Basketball Association are taken from the court to the concrete for 3-on-3 street ball. While not the craziest offering on our countdown, in-depth realism has been pushed to the side for gameplay with swagger here. With the series' signature game breaker meter, players can do flashy dunks and use defensive and evasive skills. The series also offered options to create and customize players, and in Street v3, entire basketball courts. Throw in some entertaining commentary, and this game was a slam dunk.
Suppressing the score!
Number 7, Windjammers. The game that takes the simple premise of Frisbee, throws in some tennis for good measure, and then takes it to the extreme. 6 unique characters from across the world compete in one-on-one matches on 6 different styles of terrain. The disc used can ricochet off walls and be powered up by special energy from the thrower. Fast-paced, fluorescent, and totally radical, dude! Windjammers puts the ultimate in Ultimate Frisbee. Although this is not Ultimate Frisbee, but who's counting? Number 6, Blood Bowl series. Set in an alternate version of the Warhammer universe and based on a board game of the same name, Blood Bowl takes football and sets it in a mystical fantasy world. With 3 games under its belt, the series provided a turn-based spin on a genre usually played in real time. Teams are comprised of the various races in Warhammer, including the Verminous Skaven, various classes of elves, and humans if you're into that sort of thing, but that's boring. Why would you do that?
Oh! That looks painful.
As implied by the title, buckets of blood are spilled, as players can be horribly injured or even killed. A team can annihilate their opponents and still take the win, giving sudden death a whole new meaning. Number 5, Super Mario Strikers. When Mario gets together with his friends and enemies in the Mushroom Kingdom to play ball, any sport they do will usually be pretty crazy. What sets Strikers and this Mario game apart, however, is that it takes a rather brutal spin on a beautiful game. You can physically tackle your opponents into an electrified fence, or use various items to devastate the arena. I need to remind you, this is a violent Mario soccer game. If Nintendo sought to make an insanely entertaining sports game, then they definitely scored that hard-earned goal. Number 4, SSX Tricky.
You and me, we're gonna be getting some airtime, baby!
Arguably the peak of the SSX genre, this second installment takes the extreme snowboarding aspect of the first game and ups the ante. Tricky saw the addition of the Uber Trick system that offers up a temporary speed boost in exchange for insane, often gravity-defying stunts.
Oh, yeah!
3 times bonus.
Returning characters also developed over-the-top personalities, with some even being voiced by celebrities like Lucy Liu, David Arquette, and Billy Zane. You know, the Dick from Titanic. While many of the early SSX titles would be right at home with this list's madness, SSX Tricky rocked and was right on time. Ah, you don't get that reference, do you? Number 3, NFL Blitz. While the Madden series shows what the National Football League can be as a near-perfect simulation, this Midway classic was pretty much the opposite.
Intercepted!
Along with having the extra point after the touchdown as an automatic feature, Blitz had quick and less restrictive gameplay with an emphasis on knocking the opponent's block off. The defense can careen into the ball handler with sheer force, and even leg drop downed players with no penalties to slow down the action. Adding the classic codes to make the game even more nuts, and the reception for Blitz was nothing short of a touchdown. Number 2, NBA Jam. Boom shakalaka!
Lays it up! He's heating up!
Midway's first endeavor with a real sports league, NBA Jam, like Blitz and Hitz afterwards, contained condensed and streamlined gameplay. Playing 2-on-2 games on the hardwood, the game featured over-the-top dunks, the ability to set the bar on fire after 3 consecutive dunks, and no penalties like ever. And all of this happens before the game's cheat codes ups the insanity even further. From boosting player abilities to dunking from anywhere to hidden characters like the Fresh Prince and Mortal Kombat's Scorpion, each code was basically zanier than the last.
Shoots for 3, and it's good!
Be it the ball and b-ball or the razzle-dazzle, this game invites players to slam and welcome to the jam. Number 1, Rocket League. This number 1 proves that, on occasion, the second time is the charm. The sequel to the very little-known supersonic acrobatic rocket-powered battle cars. Gee, why did they change the name? Rocket League took its predecessor's concept by playing soccer with rocket-powered battle cars and a gigantic metal ball, and basically just improved it in every way. The game's description alone is a bit out there, but the gameplay is simple and very, very satisfying. The color and dynamic visuals also do well to highlight the insanity, including the ball literally exploding in a puff of smoke once a goal is scored. With its unique concept and airtight gameplay, this surreal soccer sim is in a league of its own. Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.